It's time now for The Splash on Civic Center TV. On this week's episode, we look back on the influence and history of West Bloomfield's Police Foundation. Then take a look at what's happening at the Township Center District on Orchard Lake Road. And later, the West Bloomfield Public Library encourages kids to jump into summer reading. The Splash is a production of Civic Center TV. We're a news magazine that covers everything, from local news to feature stories, all so that we can bring you the latest from the greater West Bloomfield area. And now, let's dive into The Splash. Hello there and welcome to another episode of The Splash. I'm your host, Jonathan Jackson, and it's good to have you with us. For over 20 years now, the West Bloomfield Police Foundation has been providing its services to families within the department and throughout West Bloomfield. But like any nonprofit organization, they received a lot of support over the years. And Splash reporter Katie Wozniak sat down with several community members who have either helped or were helped by the foundation.
The West Bloomfield Police Foundation was created in the early 90s with the intention of raising money in case tragedy ever struck the department. As time went on, the foundation was able to expand to help family members within the department who needed financial assistance due to medical hardships or family emergencies.
After my husband was killed, he worked for the police department for 12 years, and we had already had a relationship with the police department and the police foundation. They just were extra special support for my children and me. They had a really nice event shortly after Pat was killed at the Plantera. That was a really special opportunity for me to meet members of the community and just express my gratitude to for the support and the love that this community has poured out on my children and me.
Today, the West Bloomfield Police Foundation has reached beyond helping its own through programs such as Coats for Kids, Presents on the Holidays, Teddy Bears for Kids, Blessings in a Backpack, and financial donations to needy families.
When I came on the Police Foundation in 2012, I was shocked at how much the foundation actually does, not only for the police family, but the community at large. And you wouldn't think in West Bloomfield that there's a lot of need, but quite frankly, there is need. And the Police Foundation's been able to partner with business owners to raise the money to provide the assistance to these people in need. And I'm really glad to be a part of it.
The Police Foundation prides itself in bringing the community, business leaders, and police employees together at its events. And this year's Concert for a Cause is no different. It highlights the amazing relationship which the foundation has established with business owners throughout the community and includes over 20 business leaders who have pledged nearly $20,000 for the event.
This event is truly important because it shows the backbone of citizens behind the police department and, of course, Parks and Recreation as well. When we get together as a group of people in order to provide support to the West Bloomfield Police Foundation, we're providing the backup support for the police department and show them that we really care about the work that they do for us.
The foundation is also grateful to the West Bloomfield Parks and Recreation Commission. Their partnership with the police department inspired Parks and Rec to lend their hand to the foundation as a way to say thank you to the many officers they work with, as well as the community at large.
At West Bloomfield Parks and Recreation, we plan events for the community all year round. So our expertise are in event planning, and when they started looking at doing this event, we wanted to lend our support. We're very supportive of what their department does, and the foundation also enables us to help out their officers as well as other community members.
We want to say thanks again to everyone who shared their story with us on why the Police Foundation means so much to them, and for helping us also to show why organizations like this are so important to our community. And if you're a West Bloomfield resident looking to help out for yourself, then you can visit wbpolicefoundation.org and help donate to a great cause such as this. Well, if you've been down Orchard Lake and 14 Mile Road, then you've probably seen some renovations taking place within the Township Center District, which has some residents wondering what exactly is going to be built there. So we talked with Planning Director Amy Neary from West Bloomfield's Planning Department on what changes are going to be happening in that area and how residents can get involved. West Bloomfield's community is about to experience some serious changes in the next few years, and it's all thanks to a new ordinance amendment which was drafted by the Township Board of Trustees back in May. The amendment establishes new zoning ordinance regulations and requires developers to follow a specific set of guidelines on when and where they can build new structures within the Township Center District.
There has been a long process to create this overlay district in the town center. There was a task force created, and they had worked with a consultant, Clear Zoning, to create a plan and a vision for this district. And that was a process that entailed getting information from stakeholders in the community and coming up with this document. Then what they did, the next step, was to create the zoning regulations to implement the plan. So the zoning is basically the laws and the regulations for what you can and cannot develop in the corridor.
With all the changes taking place, it can be hard for citizens to get all the facts. That's why a community-based workshop is being offered to the public to help update them on everything going on in the Township Center District.
So the workshop coming up will be for the new Town Center District. The Township Board recently adopted a new district, zoning regulations. These regulations will control, how a site is developed, what type of signage you can have, the landscaping that will be required to be installed, and generally they have been created to create an identity and a theme for the district so that you know that you are in West Bloomfield's Township Center.
Although business owners and developers are strongly recommended to attend, the general public is more than welcome to visit as well.
The purpose of the workshop will be to go over what those regulations are and what business owners and developers in the corridor can expect when they come in to redevelop their site, add a new sign, put an addition onto their building, so they are aware of what those regulations are before they start to make plans. Residents of the community are encouraged to attend if they would like to hear about it, but the workshop will be geared towards design professionals and business owners and developers in the corridor.
With things still in the early stages of development, the Township Center District is a work in progress. But if you've driven down Orchard Lake and 14 Mile Road lately, you've at least begun to see the initial process of their work.
Well, and there's a lot of things happening on the corridor, and there are road improvements, planned for Orchard Lake Road and the Maple and Orchard Lake Road intersection. So with those exciting projects happening, and then as sites redevelop and having these new standards, the district will start to really have a new look, and it'll look good.
For The Splash, I'm Jonathan Jackson. My thanks again to Amy for talking with us, and if you're interested in seeing how that workshop went, then you can check out the video coverage for yourself at civiccentertv.com/Township Center District. Coming up, with school out for the summer, the West Bloomfield Public Library is working hard to keep students' minds active throughout the summer. And later, George Moore has another episode of Sidewalk Talk coming your way after this.
Don't go away. You're watching The Splash on Civic Center TV.
Civic Center TV celebrates our region's natural beauty, proud history, tremendous accomplishments, and more with Another Angle, a series featuring a unique bird's-eye view of our area's landscape. Watch Another Angle on Civic Center TV, television that's close to home.
Civic Center TV has gone social. Now it's easier than ever to watch, save, like, and share our videos online. See what's happening in your neighborhood, on the streets, and on the web at civiccentertv.com. Be a part of the conversation and get involved. We would love to hear from you. For links to our social media pages, visit us at our website or find us on Facebook, Twitter, and YouTube. Civic Center TV, television that's close to home.
The best way to know when shows debut on Civic Center TV is to become a member. It's absolutely free. We'll send you a regular newsletter with all the latest updates. Just go to civiccentertv.com and click the Members tab. Civic Center TV, television that's close to home.
And now, back to The Splash on Civic Center TV.
Welcome back to The Splash. I'm your host, Jonathan Jackson. Our next story comes to us from the West Bloomfield Public Library, where dozens of kids and parents were in attendance at the Summer Reading Kickoff, an event which encourages West Bloomfield's youth to keep their reading skills sharp over the summer.
With school out for the summer, the last thing kids are probably thinking about are books. But here at the West Bloomfield Public Library, the staff is proving that summer reading doesn't have to be a chore.
Basically, what we're doing is introducing the kids and their parents to the fact that the library is here, the resources that are available, and how we organize the summer reading program for their benefits, and to make it fun with the prizes and to encourage participation during the summer.
Many children, especially struggling readers, can forget some of what they've learned and slip out of practice during the upcoming months. This is what's known as the summer slide, and it's something that the library is trying to prevent.
We're here to encourage reading over the summer, to help kids prevent the summer slide with students. Sometimes kids forget over the summer like what they've learned in the previous school year if they don't actively read over the summer. For us, too, it's about family engagement, getting families to read together. The schools, though, they assign some summer reading to the students here, and they give them lists, and we support that as well.
Although the West Bloomfield School District has a summer reading program of its own, it receives a lot of help from other institutions, such as the West Bloomfield Public Library.
We have always worked hand in hand with the schools. The school district of West Bloomfield and in Walled Lake as well have reading programs, and the library will stock, if they pick out a dozen books or so that they think, say, middle school readers in the RAP program, for example, should read, we will get about 50 copies of every one of those books and have them available so they can get them at their school library, and they can also get them here.
What most parents and teachers fear is that our society's reliance on technology is taking children away from books. But as Carol Kravitz mentions, there are kids who still want that type of interaction with literature.
I think that kids want they want to acquire those skills. They want to be able to read. They want to be able to engage. And one of the most important activities is to be able to talk about what you're reading, and the library provides that avenue. And as far as directing students and directing parents and directing older adults to reading material, and the other things that we have, book clubs and for students and for adults, and packets and puppets, and I don't think that you have to push children to read when you have an environment that's so rich.
At the end of the day, it's events such as this that are not only helping to bring West Bloomfield's youth together, but to educate them as well. For The Splash, I'm Tyler Kieft.
Thank you, Tyler. We're always happy to see West Bloomfield residents out and enjoying the community. And we want to encourage everyone watching at home to keep reading and learning over the summer. Don't waste all that brain power. And if you'd like to see more from this year's event, then you can visit civiccentertv.com/summer reading kickoff. We now move on to another of our Splash segments, Sidewalk Talk, where reporter George Moore talks with people in the greater West Bloomfield community.
We're in West Bloomfield at Chico Elementary School. We're here to find out from the parents, and as it turns out, the grandparents of elementary school students, what it's like to be a part of their lives and to raise them these days. Should be some good answers here. Join us. What so far is the most awkward thing your child has ever asked you?
Wow, other than now he's taking a puberty class, so I have to deal with all those uncomfortable questions. But I'd probably say, what happens when you touch the sun has been very interesting. And I remembered asking my father the same question, and his response to me was, it'll suck you up. And it says, zoop. And so I said that to him because that was the only answer I had. So,
well, I would say they'll tell me something that happened in school, and something that another kid said and things of that nature. We have to, like, Daddy, what does this mean? And kind of trying to
imagine that get pretty interesting.
Oh yeah, definitely.
Actually, I'll try to approach them before they can approach me. So, internet safety, trying to explain why, there's such dangers on that. And that can be a little awkward at times.
What so far has been the most awkward thing your child has ever asked you?
Well, he wants a dad. His father passed away about 6 years ago of cancer.
Sorry.
And he's always saying, Mom, I want a dad. Everybody in my classroom has a dad. And I said, well, Tyler, you had a dad at one time, but he had to go on to heaven, And I think that's the most strangest thing a kid can come to you and say, because what do you do? What can you do? So I have to play the role model of a mother and a father.
I'm pretty sure there's probably been a lot of moments where they left me with my mouth open.
Get ready, more's coming.
They had health class this week. He got in the car and told me that he learned about his body parts.
Yeah,
that was very interesting.
There's probably going to be more of that. So be prepared.
Yeah, for 4th grade coming out, it was funny. It was really funny.
Thank you to Chico Elementary for allowing this to happen, and to West Bloomfield parents for sharing their thoughts on their children. Off to vacation now. Have a good summer. For The Splash, I'm George Moore. Sidewalk Talk.
Thank you, George. You know, the questions we get from our kids can be both funny and thought-provoking, and I think we've all dealt with it at least once in our lives. But if you'd like to see more funny and interesting questions from George Moore, then check out civiccentertv.com/sidewalktalk. Time now, though, for a Civic Center event update. And to stay up to date on all the following current events, you can visit civiccentertv.com/events. And with that being said, let's get started. The City of Orchard Lake is hosting a home repair and improvement seminar on June 22nd at 6 p.m. The Michigan Department of Attorney will be presenting in order to help residents identify signs of home repair scams, recognize red flags with contractors, and learn to navigate the home repair process. Come on out and learn how to keep your home and wallet safe during this development. At the Berman Center for Performing Arts, the West Bloomfield Police Foundation will be holding their Concert for a Cause in partnership with the West Bloomfield Parks and Recreation. The event starts at 6:30 p.m. on June 23rd and will feature Steve Acho, along with special appearances by Karen Newman, Kyle Johnson, and a surprise local celebrity. The cost is $42 per person, and to register, you can visit theberman.org or call their office directly. Blessings in a Backpack brings Cirque Among Us back to West Bloomfield, so join in for a fun-filled day for all ages. The event, which is run entirely by volunteers, is dedicated to delivering bags of food to each elementary school in time for it to go home every Friday. In order to participate, just contact Catherine Chico or come on out on June 25th, any time of the day, to help everyone bag up food items. Remember, hunger doesn't take a break over the weekend, so neither should you. The Sylvan Lake Home and Garden Tour is coming up on June 25th at 10 a.m. Now, this is a self-guided community-wide event with maps already provided and the option to take the tour at your own pace. All proceeds from this event benefit Sylvan Lake's Parks and Community Center, and the tickets are only $15. Next, we have a special announcement from the township stating that the nonprofit organization, Fund for the Public Interest, will be in the West Bloomfield area conducting door-to-door canvassing for the purpose of educating and conducting a membership drive. This is on behalf of Fund for the Public Interest and Environment Michigan's efforts to stop the decline of the global bee population, beginning at the end of June and running through August 1st. Canvassing will be between the hours of 3:30 p.m. and 8:30 p.m., Monday through Friday, and infrequently on Saturdays. On July 6th, any qualified registered elector in Oakland County may apply to work as an election inspector for Orchard Lake Village. Training is required at the Oakland County Complex located in the vicinity of Telegraph and Pontiac Lake Road. Both morning and evening shifts are available, and a reminder though, this is in preparation of the primary election on August 2nd, as well as the general election on November 8th. So if you're interested, come on out to the clerk's office to fill out an application or access the complete application online at the Orchard Lake Village website. If you're looking for something to do on a Saturday morning, then come on out to the West Bloomfield Library on July 9th at 11 a.m., and you can participate in some fun crafting for all ages. Just bring your imagination and your family, and they'll provide all the materials for you to make your own art projects. Plus, the event is free to the public. And later that week, the library will be hosting a magician in their building who has traveled all over the world, but is actually based right here within Michigan. His name is Gordon Russ, and he's performed for celebrities, children, and even at local libraries here in the state. So come on out and see his show on Tuesday, July 12th at 7 p.m. and get ready to participate because he loves to bring his guests up on stage. Lastly, Henry Ford West Bloomfield Hospital is offering up their farm-to-table class to the public, where you can taste and learn about farm-to-table cuisine. Their chef uses fresh produce from Henry's Market on Main, while resident farmer Trevor Johnson discusses what's in season and why locally grown produce is in such high demand. As an added bonus, you can create a special take-home project to enjoy farm-to-table practices with your family. The cost is only $20 per person, and registration is required. The event starts at 6:30 on Thursday, July 14th, and it goes until 8 o'clock. Well, there you have it, folks. But if you're looking to find more events going on in your neighborhood, then be sure to follow us at civiccentertv.com/events and look up our events calendar. And as always, stay tuned right here for more information on everything going on in the greater West Bloomfield area. Well, time now for a break. But when we come back, I'll be sitting down with Mrs. Michigan USA Universal 2016 winner, Stacy Zatkovich.
You are watching The Splash on Civic Center TV.
Be sure to catch live coverage of Laker sports, up-to-date information on local events, and of course, non-stop music on 89.3 WBLD, the all-new Lakes FM.
I'm Kelly Waterfall for Civic Center TV. All around West Bloomfield, people are saying there's great, if not totally compelling programming on Civic Center TV. What's the best way to know when our newest shows debut? Become a member. It's absolutely free. We'll send you a regular newsletter with all the latest updates. Just go to civiccentertv.com and click the Members tab. Civic Center TV, television that's close to home.
For years, Civic Center TV has been bringing you live coverage of local municipal meetings. The meetings are now available on demand at civiccentertv.com/meetings or watch the meetings again the following day on Civic Center TV, television that's close to home.
And now, back to The Splash on Civic Center TV.
Hello and welcome back to The Splash. I'm Jonathan Jackson, and my guest on the show this week is Mrs. Michigan USA Universal winner, Stacy Zatkovich. Stacy, I want to thank you for joining me today.
Hello, and thank you for having me.
Well, thank you very much for being here. So, Stacy, can you tell me a little bit about what you do as you're Miss Michigan USA, like I said earlier? How did that come to be?
Well, it's something that I've always had in my blood and my soul, and I love inspiring people, mentoring them, and I used to do it years and years ago. And then I got married, and I thought, well, this isn't over yet because it's something of a passion of mine. So I decided to enter a pageant, and I won, and I went to nationals, and I did great at nationals, which was for Mrs. United States in 2014-15. And I just felt my job wasn't done. I felt that I was able to reach a lot more women, get my message out to everybody by kind of having a state title. And so therefore, I'm able to, get my message, change people's lives, touch their soul, and really make them realize that, wow, I didn't know I could really achieve that. So this is how I got into it, why I do it. I do get that question all the time. You know, women in their 40s are not exactly going to be into pageants. Why would you do this? Mm-hmm. Because I think it helps me reach people. And it helps me really make them take time for themselves too, which a lot of people forget.
Exactly. And you do reach people. I mean, you reach out to a lot of different individuals. We talked about students earlier in many different school districts, even here close around here in this area.
Absolutely.
And you help inspire them. Can you tell me a little bit about what that's like?
Sure. So I've been going into some schools, whether it's elementary school, middle, or high school. And for the elementary, I kind of do a little bit of tailoring because they don't need to hear what maybe I tell the middle school or the high schools. So I talk to them about what a good friend is. Bullying is out there. They're all familiar with it. But if we take a step back and really think why the bullying happens, we look at what a good friend is. Right. And I give examples, and I even created this poem, and it's called I Have a Choice. And I won't say the whole poem, but I give them all a piece of paper, and it says, I have a choice to wake up in the morning and be in a good or bad mood. I have a choice. And if they do something wrong, they have a choice to make it right and learn from it. If they are mean to somebody, they have a choice to say, hey, I'm sorry. So it's all about getting them when they're young and having them realize that everybody has feelings, and let's protect each other, let's be friends with each other, and it really seems to get through to them in ways that they can. For the older middle school and high school, I talk to them, everybody doesn't have to be perfect.
Sure, yeah.
I'm not perfect, you're not perfect.
No, definitely not.
I don't want to be with somebody who is perfect just because that is hard to live up to, and if I make a mistake, please forgive me. And the same goes, it's just a two-way street. And the body image for women, for men, for girls.
Especially now in the summertime when it seems to be throwing it in your face all the time.
Exactly.
Wherever you go, you see kids just worried about how they look for their summer beach body or everything like that. But.
Right. And there has to be different styles, different types, different hair colors. Exactly. If we were all the same, Help us now, because it would be very boring out there.
It would. No.
So we just have to really learn to take each other for what we are, who we are. I have my weird things that maybe I do that would be weird to you, and you may have some things that I'm like, Jonathan, you're going to drive me crazy. But you accept it, and that's what makes everybody more happy, and you kind of get to learn to be more accepting of people, I think.
Yeah. But as Miss Michigan, too, you are looked up to by many people in the community, and you do a lot of things within the community. Now, you work well with closely with Suzanne Levine, who we know from Greater West Bloomfield Chamber of Commerce.
And I am a board member
as
well. Great chamber.
Yes, very great. And we love talking to them. And you said you're getting an award tomorrow. Can you tell me a bit about that award?
I am excited that I was nominated and won the 2016 Outstanding Citizen Award, and I will be receiving that award tomorrow at Edgewood Country Club, who is also a sponsor of mine, to go to nationals. But I'm very excited to be nominated, and there was a couple of people, DMC here on Valley Sinai Hospital, where I work, Karen Fordham nominated me, as well as Clint Kesto from our state representative. So it's definitely, I do things because I want to, not to get anything in return, and to have them notice, I think is really admirable, and I appreciate them for nominating me.
Well, thank you again, Stacy, for being here.
Thank you.
Appreciate you for coming by. Once again, everyone, Stacy Zakovich, Mrs. Michigan USA Universal 2016, and I hope you'll see much more of her, hopefully, in the future.
I hope so. Thank you. Thanks for your time.
No problem. All right, everyone. Well, it's time now for a segment we like to call Park Perspective, where members of West Bloomfield Parks and Recreation share information with residents on how to enjoy the outdoors within their community. And this week's episode is on trail safety.
Hi there, I'm Kelly Heyer, Recreation Supervisor for West Bloomfield Parks and Recreation. In this edition of Park Perspective, we will be discussing trail etiquette and safety. The West Bloomfield Trail meanders nearly 7 miles through West Bloomfield, Orchard Lake, Keego Harbor, and Sylvan Lake. This former railroad corridor is part of a larger network of trail systems that are planned to go from Lake Michigan to Lake Huron. There are 9 road crossings along the trail where special caution must be exercised. Potential hazards exist every time a trail crosses a street or roadway. Trail users always have the right-of-way over roadway users at all crosswalks. At all uncontrolled crosswalks, drivers are expected to stop for trail users regardless of traffic volumes, traffic speeds, vehicle platooning patterns, or any other criteria. The only drivers that aren't required to stop for trail users are those who are close enough to the crosswalk when the pedestrian arrives that they cannot safely stop. However, it is important that trail users ensure drivers are following traffic laws and stopping before they begin to make their way across. Since hundreds of users can enjoy the trail in the same day, there are some simple etiquette guidelines we encourage everyone to follow. Number 1, stay to the right, pass on the left. This will help not only with traffic flow, but ensures everyone's safety while out on the trail. Number 2, wheels yield to heels. Since bikes are much faster than walkers or runners, they must yield to those on foot. We also encourage bikers to wear helmets and keep their speed below 15 miles per hour. Number 3, leave no trace. Whether it's trash or dog waste, we ask that users don't leave anything out on the trail. Keeping the trail clean and beautiful is a collaborative effort. Number 4, be friendly and have fun. While it's recommended to announce your presence to other trail users, especially when passing, a friendly hello can go a long way to ensure everyone has a great experience out on the trail. Whether you're enjoying nature, getting some exercise, or spending time with loved ones, we hope that you have a great time while you're out on the trail.
Thanks, Kelly. And if you'd like to see even more segments like this one, then you can check out civiccentertv.com/parkperspective. We now turn to our other segment here on The Splash, our Person of the Week, where we acknowledge an individual within the community who is either helping or inspiring others. And this week's recipient is Officer Lance O'Keefe with the West Bloomfield Police Department. Officer Lance O'Keefe is a war veteran, police officer, and all-around man of action. His years of service within the military have transferred well to his current job with the police force, but providing a service to others is something that Lance has always been passionate for. In fact, right after he left high school, Lance joined the Marine Corps and was later stationed in North Carolina, where he specialized in the engineering field, but was also heavily involved within security work. During the war, Lance was deployed to Iraq twice for 7 months each time, and he was almost sent out again. But after serving his 4 years, he decided it was time to move on. A few months later, though, Lance felt a calling to get back into service somehow, so he considered law enforcement because he felt that while there, he was able to continue serving his community, all while providing that sense of duty and professionalism which he enjoyed within the military. And now he's been working here within the West Bloomfield Police Department for 3 years, and he's still going strong, making him our Person of the Week. If you or someone you know is providing a service to their community, then let us know by sending an email to The Splash at civiccentertv.com. We want to congratulate those who are making a difference in our area, and we appreciate any and all suggestions. Well, that's all the time we have for today. But as always, you can catch new episodes of The Splash every Monday at 6:30 and throughout the week for replays. You can also look up previous episodes online at civiccentertv.com or follow us on Twitter, YouTube, and Facebook under Civic Center TV for more information. For all our friends in Sylvan Lake, Orchard Lake, Keego Harbor, and of course West Bloomfield, I'm Jonathan Jackson, and we want to thank you for watching.